All right. We are live with City of the Gods here on the Greyhawk channel. So we're ready to get started. See if we can kill these see if we can find out a resolution for the player characters here and what they'll find out now that they're actually in the city. But first, I want to say thank you and mention our various supporters and sponsors on the Greyhawk channel. We've got all the awesome Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers that help make this channel even exist. So you guys are awesome, and there's a special area in the Discord for you guys where you can get some discount codes, which we'll go over here in just a moment. So also a big thanks to Roll20, who is a leading virtual tabletop, which we are using for the game. So the Greyhawk channel happens to be officially supported by Roll20, and everybody can try it out for free at roll20.net. And our sponsors, Greyhawk channel is sponsored by Heroic Maps. They've got lots of cool maps. We've used them a lot on this in this game. But they've got a library of well over 300 maps, various genres and settings that you can check out. And Tabletop Loot has awesome dice and accessories. And if you enter the code Greyhawk, that's an E in Grey and capital G and H, in the coupon code box at checkout, you can get 15% off your dice orders at tabletoploot.com. And then we also have Rue Inc., who is an awesome cartographer. She does lots of maps and illustrations. She does have some cool tutorials and stuff that you can go through, an actual class that you can take on her website. And her black and white maps are all free, and then you can also purchase some of her colored ones, or if you're a patron of hers, you get access to that as well. So she does lots of cool stuff, and you can get a discount code to purchase things in the Greyhawk Discord if you are a Patreon or Twitch subscriber. And then the same is true for Cantrip Candles. They make lots of cool candles. I've got one right here, which is A Walk in the Woods, which I particularly enjoy the smell. Casey has one there as well. I've actually got one of their big candles that's the smells like a bakery or fresh bread that's downstairs in the kitchen. So you can get lots of cool candles from them. And likewise, you can get that code at the Discord. So speaking of the Discord, you can check that out anytime. It's free to join the Discord, but there are private sections for those Patreons and Twitch subscribers. So be sure to check that out. Let's introduce the characters. So let's start with Derek today.
Hi everybody, I am Derek Sword, D-Sword16 on Twitter. Today I'll be playing Orion. He is a Golden Dragonborn Paladin and also is the protector of Eris's character. Currently he is boosted up with some power armor, power sword, couple of magic wands, which I read those as laser guns. So pretty happy Dragonborn, all things considered. Doesn't have to use his breath weapon a lot.
Yeah, some GM has given you too many items, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah. Then we've got Casey.
Hi, I'm Casey KCH on social media, and today I'm playing Roach, the Necro Ninja.
And of course, we may see some of Roach's severed body parts today as well. Who knows? Then we've got Leica.
Hi, name's Bilal Leica. I am playing. I'm playing Luthka, the orc druid. Also, I'm back from missing last time.
Yeah, unfortunate internet troubles. And also, Luthka has their cheery companion of Glamis.
Yes.
And then, last but not least, we have Eris.
Hello, I am Eris Savad. Today I am playing Talia Kiekwin. She is a high elf noble and an arcane scholar. She specifically deals in arcane history and where magic comes from. And she is having a blast because she is further back than she's ever been able to study before in the actual past. And, you know, there's some really advanced technology here. She's actually got buffs going on. She got some pretty cool armor that she can actually wear, even though she's so small. And Orion is actually seeming to take her seriously for the first time ever.
And to recap what happened last time, we have the lovely Casey.
I'll do this. Okay, so this is what happened. Let me lay it down for you. So we traveled through the desert and we got to this big old monolith thing that was completely smooth. We go in. We went in with the sand people. We decided to split up with them. So now it's just us plus brother Richard, whose actual brother, who was absconded with in like the second episode, something like that, the second or third, by these big black golem-like creatures, metal. And so we are on a hunt for him, but we're also on a mission from people who live in this time, the first people that we ran into, who more or less summoned us here against our will, asked us to talk to these people that live here, these gods in this city of gods, to see if they can, we can open up a line of communication with them. The end goal being a union against the frogs. What are they actually officially called? The Brotherhood of the Frog?
Well, yeah, they're referred to as froggies, and
just lore stuff. And so last episode, we got in there, we got to the first door, and Roach bamfed in and was going to make a distraction so that everybody else could get through there. But Talia's face was pressed against the door, looking very intently on everything that was going on. It was a robot-like manufacturing room. We didn't know what they were. It's like golems and stuff. So, like robots are working on other robots. That's kind of what was going on there. And there's a big old warehouse full of shelves and shelves and shelves.
Look, it was really interesting. Okay,
that's very interesting. Yes. So I've done an amazing job of opening this high-tech lockbox somehow with my medieval toolkit, and there are a ton of grenades in there, which I perceive as smooth metal eggs of varying colors. As I'm doing that and succeeding to an amazing degree, Talia face plants into the room, alerts everything there. But luckily, she's got that suit, and so does Orion. So they kind of like posted up like they knew what they was doing. And when they were approached by one of the golems, a small orange one, they were questioned about why they were there and stuff. And then they kind of got away with it, and they convinced the robot that they belonged there, and they got some information out of it. And we eventually left the room with the grenades and the robot. We have also discovered that there are at least three other types of golems, all also of varying colors. The black ones we know are bad. No good. So we were escorted by that orange one to a metal tube in a metal pipe or concrete pipe or something like that. And we started to get on it, and then Roach was like jabbing Orion, like, hey, kick the robot off. And we succeeded in doing that eventually through a lot of rolls and a lot of hilarity. And as we were doing this, we were come upon by a person. Pretty sure it was a person. It was a person, right? We know it was a person.
Yeah, it was a humanoid.
Okay, yeah. And everybody was more or less quietly screaming on the inside at that point. So Roach invisibly incapacitated him. Yeah, sleeper holded him. Yeah. So he was fine. He was alive and stuff, but he was incapacitated. And the orange robot started trying to take him to the medical bay. And I think that Talia decided that was a good time to short circuit him. Him? I want to personify it. And I think that succeeded too. And we had, was that right? Did we succeed?
It ended up like, yeah, powering down basically.
Yeah, that was it. Okay. And then we left inside of the metal tube. There were buttons on a console, and we didn't know anything about it. So Roach just started hitting buttons while everybody else was talking. It was 8008.
Yeah, completely random.
Completely random. And we sped off so fast, faster than we have ever gone in our entire lives. And we ended up in this place that looked like almost like a giant smelter or a forge or something like that.
Sure.
I remember heated metal.
Yeah, it was a place that had more of these cars that you were on, these dragons or whatever.
Okay, all right, yeah. So it was like a house for dragons. We spotted some more orange bots. So I think was it Talia? I think it was Talia that was like, hey, where do we find the prisons? Because we're still looking for Brother Richard's brother. And then they told us that's 1134, I believe, which is very appropriate. And we got back into the tram, but instead of allowing Talia to insert that, Roach was like, no, we're not going into the prisons. That's a bad place to go. Why would you ever want to go there? And Roach was trying to suggest that perhaps we should get in contact first with people in charge of this place instead of just busting up in there into a situation that we don't know about and going against the will of the people who own this place. So we typed in a random number again, and we ended up in a place that was very clean, very sparsely furnished, and there was a black box on the wall, and some buttons were pushed, and there were tiny people in there speaking and moving, and I don't think that they knew that they were in there, and it's some kind of cursed box. And we kind of just was like, okay, well, we got a job to do, one thing at a time. So we just kind of slowly backed away from the speaky box, and we are back now in the belly of the steel beast.
Indeed, you guys are. Oh, go ahead.
I would like to point out that we did press a button that made the box go completely black again.
Yes.
And there was a panic had we killed these people. I just wanted to make sure that was mentioned.
It's very true.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, there's lots of things going on. Brother Richard definitely wants to get his brother, which is always a thing to say Brother Richard's brother. Because he's a brother because he's part of a clerical order, not so much. So, yeah.
Did we ever get his name?
Whose name?
Brother Richard's brother. I assume.
Yeah, you met him. He was the one that was showing you the egg and everything at the beginning. I don't remember his name offhand. My brain. Oh, actually, I probably have.
I'm just feeling
he
like
was
a little bit more efficient to just use his name.
Well, he's Besario the drunkard. Is who he is.
I remember, like, we met a lot of people at once, and Brother Richard and Brother Richard's brother got really confusing.
Yes.
And I was like, which one's
Yes,
brother?
but Besario,
Brother.
who is known
they
as
both have
Besario
brother.
the drunkard. Yes, indeed. So yeah, we actually start the camera kind of zooms in, but not on the party. We're on this like platform, and you see something that's orange and a body that's wrapped up in some sort of cabling that's coming out of the orange thing, and the little orange golem kind of shakes a little bit and powers on, and it says, "Yes, just take this to the medical," and looks around and doesn't see anybody, and it kind of deflates a little bit, and this little sound goes, and it kind of goes over and like pushes a little tool comes out and pushes the button to call another dragon or whatever to transport. But it almost looks sad. And then we come back to the party, who is maybe not quite on the train yet. Some of you are kind of in it, and some of you are on the platform right outside of it, with the door that's right there to that room that you were in, this big dome. And you're attempting to figure out what your next thing is. You know, 3 locations now in theory that you can get to via this strange dragon thing that the Sand People referred to it as. You've got a bunch of items that you don't fully know what they do. You've got this mission. You got 2 missions basically. I guess technically you've got 3 missions right now, because any of the items you find, you're supposed to like split down the middle with the Sand Folk, and then, which is part of the reason you went in here to raid. But then you got to communicate with the people, and then you've got to find Brother Richard's brother. So yeah, you guys are kind of gathered there.
Look, I hate to be a bit of a pessimist, but what exactly how are we supposed to accomplish any of this? We can go to the prison cell and try to fight your brother out, or we can try to see if we can find someone who's not instantly hostile to us to go find their leader and hope that they're not instantly going to kill us, and we should just go home.
And as Talia is expounding upon this worry, the camera suddenly shifts views because of something else I remembered. Orion, could you roll your presence for me real quick for no particular reason? As the camera seems to zoom out and go higher and higher, go through the clouds, and then we see me.
18.
Yeah, we'll just do that. And suddenly it looks like we're maybe in some sort of office, but like things are made out of gold, and there's like gleaming, and there's somebody sitting somewhere, and they're presented like this parchment, and we can't quite see the figure, but they're in like some impressive armor and stuff, and they unroll it, and we kind of see like some sort of log of a conversation or something, and he says, Orion said, "What? Abstract gods? What?" And it rolls back up as he considers, as we zoom back down to the present. So Talia has just voiced her concerns about maybe going home, maybe leaving this place. Maybe you're not in a good position to talk to the people, considering what you've already done.
Well, I don't understand how these people thought that, us people from a completely different time and place would have any way to talk to these people when they couldn't. I mean, we're not the ones that they have to deal with. I'm sorry, your people are the ones that have to deal with this problem. Why are we the ones that were brought here? How are we supposed to make any difference?
Oh, you're just here to make contact. You're not supposed to do any of the negotiating.
Yes, but how are we supposed to convince them to negotiate and contact your people back if you couldn't get them to respond in the first place?
Well, oh gosh, I just forgot what he was called.
The Baron?
No, the one who called you.
Fitch. The Fitch.
Yes, the Fitch. The Fitch was never able to get as far as we have. They were never even able to approach the city. They ended up getting turned away before even reaching it. So the whole idea was using that gateway to call people that could assist and be able to actually get to the City of Gods, which we've done. So now we just need to make contact and seek their aid for this fight against the Froggies.
Golly, I think when it comes down to it, we don't know why we were chosen. Something led us to that place in time where we came to another time. I like to believe that whatever that decision was the right one.
It was
And also, to be
curiosity
fair,
and a trapped door.
sure, but a trapdoor to thousands of years in the past, is that a trap? It's kind of always where you've wanted to go.
Well, I suppose so.
And also, to be fair, no one has actually been outwardly hostile to us here. They haven't really had the chance, have they? We've been hostile to them first. Maybe if we give one of the people a chance, if we find another similar humanoid to the one that was incapacitated earlier, maybe we might have a chance for discussion. I really see two routes. We can go to try to find Brother Richard's brother, Zero the Drunk, and potentially fight our way out of the prison sector, and then maybe use our, I guess, power and intimidation to try and reason with the people here, or we can go meet with them first and hope that they might be amicable to releasing Brother Richard's brother and perhaps chatting with us. But that relies on them actually wanting to hear what we have to say.
Whenever we try intimidation, I doubt will work.
I don't think that'll work either. But I suppose, I guess it's scary because really when you get down to it, once we start talking to these people, we're completely at their mercy. We're in the middle of a city with no backup coming. No one's coming to help us.
Maybe we should find another one of those little orange robots. They seemed eager to answer our questions, even though our questions were, to them, I think, a bit misguided.
Italia. And she puts a hand on her shoulder. Make sure it stays on. Says, I get what you're feeling, and I think it's very valid, and it is scary. All that I can tell you in times like these that has worked for me is to just continue to put one foot in front of the other. If your mind and heart cannot take moving forward, let your body do it.
Well, it's easy. Your body parts animate on their own.
Well, I mean, I still gotta try to do something. There's a will there, I promise.
Wow. Thank you, Rich.
Would you like a hug?
Sure. All right. Bring it in.
Yep.
Is it an awkward hug from Roach, or is it a
No. It's definitely a bro hug where you do like some back pats. Yeah, there you go.
I'm wearing armor,
Really
so it's appropriate.
yeah, so you go dink, dink, dink. Yeah.
It's cool. Talia feels bolstered.
Yeah, like maneuver around the grenade bandolier. Just
Throw that.
Well, I suppose another random assortment of numbers, or we can see if we can find more doors or something.
I have two ideas there. One, we return to 8008 because I remember that we did find a golem there that answered one of your questions. So we could go back to that one. Or we could try what's behind number 0001.
That's what I've been saying this whole time. 0001, 0002, 0003.
I feel like
Eventually,
that would
we'll get
take a
there.
really long time, depending on numbering conventions. I mean, statistically speaking, you could go through a infinite amount of numbers if you only have four combinations to work with. But I mean, if you look at this keypad, there are so many different digits. You could physically go, it would take months to go through all of them.
Orion, that's not a bad idea. However, I just meant stopping at 0001. Because if they ordered it by importance, maybe that's where the people in charge are.
No, you're right. I forgot about math.
Ooh,
It's okay,
maybe
buddy.
that's the oldest place.
I'm good with it. Let's, yeah, sure.
All right, so you guys get back on. Who wants to enter in the numbers, as it were?
Still invisible. I'm going to look around for a second, and then I'm going to do it quickly.
Okay, so actually, let me make sure.
Did you also have like an invisible hug?
Yes. That's why the tink tink was very important. Because it confirmed for the people that weren't feeling it that it was happening.
Just showing us all that Talia's not like really sad and just like hugging air.
Oh,
All right, so
kind of feel like she would do that though.
so you enter in 0001. The numbers. Yeah. Okay. So you entered in, and you've got the translator thing back on, I believe, because you temporarily turned it off, but you turned it back on. So there's the strange language, which gets translated through that badge that Talia says. It says, "Error, unknown destination."
Maybe it's too old. Maybe that was the first place they put on this thing, and now it's no longer in use. Maybe try 0002.
Okay, but this is the last one. 0002. Okay, good.
Yeah, you enter in. Whoops. Cool. Same thing happens.
All right, so we can't use that method.
I mean, technically we could, but it could take a really long time.
I would like to move. I think we've been in one place too long.
Okay.
Do you want to study anything, Talia, to see if you can understand anything?
Yeah, can I study the buttons and see if they look, or see if there's... I mean, essentially, she's going to look around the entire area that she's in.
Yeah, you guys were moving so fast, you didn't really get a time to really observe the interior of this place. I'd say go ahead and roll logic, since you're attempting to, like, figure things out as they are.
Yeah, she's going to use any context clues, any writings on the wall. Literally.
Since it is a little bit similar to the silvery egg that Bessario was explaining to you, I'll give you advantage.
Okay. You said logic?
Yes.
Okay. 13.
Okay, not bad. Yeah, you're kind of looking around at it, and you see the keypad. There are some other things, and one of them makes you think about the badge a little bit, except it's bigger, because the badge has this thing on it where it's like kind of circular, but the circular pattern is made up of tiny circular holes, and that's where the sound tends to come out of. You notice a bigger one of those on this counter. And, there seems to be some buttons by it as well. And instead of a raised and keyboard like the ones that are at the doors and the ones that you're entering in for destinations, it looks like there's some other buttons on that one.
I'm going to press one of the buttons and see what it does.
Okay. You press, and it's kind of like the other one where it seems there's additional buttons you need to press. Like one press is not enough. So
Right.
roll for me.
I'm stuck.
It's okay. Roll for me 3 d10s.
Oh gosh. Two, 4. It made the alarm go off.
Clearly, yeah.
Oh no.
224. Cool. All right. So 224. Okay. So there's this recurring buzzing sound that goes for a couple times, and then there's like this click sound, and then a voice comes on that you don't recognize, and it says, "You have reached the living pod of and some name, and please leave a message." And then there's this beep.
I'm sorry, what's a living pod? What? Why am I leaving a message? Who? Hello, Josie, I don't know who you are. Is this thing on? I don't know what to do here. I press another button.
Beep. Your message has been sent.
Talia's first voicemail. I see. Well, that was weird. Maybe if I try another combination of numbers, I'll reach someone else. A personal living pod. Well, that kind of sounds like something that somebody would call a house. Okay, let me try another one.
Yeah, if you want to just do it randomly, just roll the 3 d10s, or you can.
We're gonna keep doing random because I like that. 814.
All right.
And if I stumble upon one that actually does something, then that's great.
Okay, so that's cool that you got that one. Roll for me either your presence for luck or an exploding d6.
Presence. Let's do presence. I'm not sure. 13. Lots of 13s today.
Okay, so you call you enter it in, and there's that same recurring strange tone, and then there's a click, and it says, "You have reached the security office of Henry. If this is an emergency, please dial 811. Otherwise, leave a message after the tone." Beep.
I press the button again.
Okay.
And I say, oh, this is considered an emergency, right? We could try 811.
It sounds close to whoever's in charge, I'm sure.
Well, it was some sort of security office and security and emergencies. Maybe we could ask for emergency assistance because we're lost.
Yeah.
Does somebody else want to talk, or should I talk? I don't know. I'm sweating. Is it hot in here?
You're doing a great job. I find you
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
very naturally non-threatening, so yes, you should continue to talk.
That was, yeah. You're aces.
Wait.
Vocally. Compared to me, for instance.
Yeah, physically, I mean, you're a warrior elf wearing armor with war paint. Ah. But
Ah.
verbally, you're, you know, Talia.
Well, except verbally, it's whatever comes out of that box.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So you're gonna try and call 811.
Yep. I'm gonna
Okay.
call 811.
All right. So
Information, please.
So yeah, you press 811, and there's like one, like before there's several tones, right? There's one tone, and then there's a click, and you hear the voice, and then it's translated and it says, what is your emergency? Where are you?
Actually, I'm very lost. I'm not quite sure where I am. And if I could get some help, or the code to talk to someone in charge here. I don't know where I am, to be honest with you. I have no idea what's going on here.
Roll your persuasion.
8.
So
So persuasive.
there's like a pause. Who are you?
My name is Talia. I'm actually from extremely far away, and I don't know how to get to anywhere here.
How did you get in here?
It's a really long story.
Um,
I'm just trying to find someone who can help me.
There's like a little, like there's the lights that are in the dragon thing that you're in, or whatever it's called, and they suddenly shift to like a red, and you hear little clicks at the doors.
I have a feeling that we're about to explode.
Um,
Sorry, everybody.
no, you're not about to explode, but you're not supposed to be in here. And you're using a translator badge, it sounds like.
Yeah, well, how else am I supposed to figure out what everybody's saying? I'm trying to communicate with you people. I want to be friends. I don't know where to find someone that I can talk to.
Hold for a moment. And there's like a click, and then this pleasant sounding music comes on. So while you are holding for a moment, what would any of you like to do?
I guess I'll check out these grenades.
Sure, yeah. You want to try and like figure them out, or?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and roll to see if you can figure them out.
I'll take the green one. Green's usually a pretty good color for me.
Sure, and you're already sure what the red one is.
Yeah.
All right, the green one.
I'm not gonna test it by actually pulling the pin.
Why not?
No, because I'm not stupid.
Roll your learning real quick to see if you can recall something.
Okay.
Yeah, the girl from Ipanema is playing. Yeah, I mean, it's green. Green is usually good.
Is there anything that I can do? Like, can I maybe try to use logic instead? I'm a little bit better.
Sure. I mean, this was to see if you could recall something.
Yes. I'm wondering if
so-
I can attach green to a potential.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your logic.
Much better.
At first you're thinking, like, just from what you were trying to recall, anything you could about it, and green things grow. Maybe this is like some sort of enlarging like thing, and but then you start to actually think about it, and you're like, no, these things tend to do damage instead, or harmful effects, so they probably wouldn't make you bigger. I don't think there's any symbols for you to intuit too much about it. There is a image of like a cloud maybe on it. So you think this maybe releases some sort of cloud of something.
I feel like I could put it together from there. Is this something that you're gonna want me to do for each and every grenade, or do you want to take that 17 and apply it?
Well, while she's looking at that, do you want to do anything, Talia? Or are you just waiting at the circular whole thing?
Talia is she's actually probably looking at the objects that she was given.
Okay, well, you were given one of each of them.
Yeah, so she's currently looking at them and silently not talking, because that would just translate through the thing and go straight into the talk box, whatever it is.
Sure.
But she's looking it over, but it's more out of habit than actually trying to understand it as much. She's a little distracted right now.
Sure. I guess just roll a general logic just to see if there's anything you notice about these. For the yellow one, you're not sure what the symbol is that you see on it, Roach. It's like it like starts off as like a circle, but then the bottom part like extends a little bit, and there's like this strange there's lines kind of like what you might see in a sun that stretch out from the top part of the circular.
Does it look like a wand that's active?
No. I mean, well, you as the player would recognize it as looking like a light bulb.
Ah, okay. All right. I'll think it's a raindrop and turn it upside down, probably. This one's mismarked.
Yeah, you're a little distracted, Talia, as you're, kind of looking. See, I think.
I'll be honest, Talia is actually internally convinced that they're all about to die, that these...
Sure. Roll your agility for me real quick, Talia.
Don't like us. All right. Can't imagine this is going to be any better.
I'm sure it's fine.
Oh, hey!
Okay.
I'm apparently much more agile than I am smart today.
So, yeah, you're... you're holding the blue one, and you're a little bit distracted, and you realize your fingers just press something, and you look down, and you instead of like lifting it away because of your 16, you keep pressing, and you realize that like if you let go of that button, you've just activated this blue egg that you're holding.
God. Hey, I can't let go of this.
What's wrong, Talia?
I pressed a button and I shouldn't have. Again.
Okay. What? Any guesses what the blue one does?
Yeah.
I can't see it, but I'm shaking my head.
So the symbol that you notice on the blue one, it's kind of like a cone that looks like is sending out waves.
Okay, don't panic.
we're
gonna
just
be
gonna
okay.
assume it's bad, right? Okay.
There's
Orion's
no way
gonna.
this is gonna hurt us if I let it go. So I'm just gonna keep holding it.
Did you want to try and do something, Orion?
Yeah, I want to check the doors. I'm assuming they're locked, but I.
Yeah, like you try and press the button to make them open. They don't open. It seems, and you remember hearing a click sound
Yeah.
from them.
Are these sliding doors or are they? Kind
Yeah,
of
they
like
slide.
DeLoreans?
So there's like two
Okay.
doors, and then they'll slide apart, and then close back again.
Okay. Um. Hey. Is there enough room to maybe try and pry the doors apart manually?
Yeah, I mean, you
Nope,
could try and just like use your strength to like force it apart.
Yeah, that's what I'm considering. All right, yeah, I think Tully, you just hold on to that. I'm going to see if we can get these doors open, and then you just lob it. All right.
Do you want to
So-
do anything like maybe like try and bolster yourself a little bit before you do it?
Yeah, I probably will. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just use bolster then, which I'm not sure that I've used before because I think Tully always does it.
Yeah. So normally you do that via creation.
Okay.
So what does it look like when you use your I'm guessing that's a little bit of your divine to try and
Yeah. So bolsters normally, I guess underneath his previous armor, he had an etching of the symbol of Hieronius, the lightning bolt, and he would normally just kind of put his hand to that, and just a little, kind of aura would surround him. I haven't updated that, so.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of channel this and you hear this voice in your ear. It says abstract concepts. Really now. But you do feel like there's like a little chuckle, but you do feel a little bit strengthened. So you do have advantage 1.
Okay.
But you feel maybe a little bit flushed as you're thinking about the things you said.
Yeah, I think he's going to be like muttering under his breath. It was a theological concept. It is not wrong to question one's own beliefs. It makes you a stronger paladin to do that.
Look over at Brother Richard. What is he talking about?
So yeah, you start. They like. Excuse me. They start to kind of separate, but something's catching, and you either don't have enough of a grip or enough of strength to wrench it apart. It looks like there's some sort of thing that's like latched down and hooked, kind of like some sort of lock or something.
Lizka,
Okay.
can you get that thing at the bottom?
Sorry, what?
Can you get the thing? Can you help?
Sure, I'll try.
Yeah, just a little latch. If you flip that, I can hopefully get these open.
Yeah, roll your strength for Luthka. See if Luthka can maneuver and force it.
Okay. You mean might?
Yes. So it it's starting to budge with both of you working. You're gonna have to work on it a little bit more to get it open, but it's starting to go. So in another few moments, you'll probably get it to pry apart. So while
Is there enough room to fit a
Not-
Tully
not
hand
yet.
with it?
but
Okay.
so while they're doing that, you feel like you're going to make progress, so you can keep going and you'll succeed. It's just going to take a little bit longer. While they're doing that, is there anything else that Talia and Roach want to do?
Yes. I'd like to walk over to Talia, stand over her shoulder, and see if there's any way that one could carefully take this device from her without lifting the button that she's pressed down, like we put our fingers like together like that, and then
Yeah, you're pretty sure that nimble enough fingers can like switch the grip and then take the blue egg from her.
I will ask first. Talia, would you like me to attempt to take this from you? I am pretty confident that I can do it, and I don't think I will die if I blow up. Not permanently, anyways. I don't think.
I'm visibly shaking at this point, definitely terrified of letting this thing go. Are you sure that you can?
Yes.
I
Okay.
So yeah, just
Carefully.
roll your agility.
I'm going to be using legend points.
Okay.
Let's use. I have 8 of those guys, so I'm going to use 2
Oh
of them.
wow. Yeah.
I've been building it up for the final showdown, where that's going to be. Hoping it's not a red dragon. Right. So straight agility.
actually think it's safe to say that as you're doing this, tears are actually starting to just involuntarily come down Talia's face and ruin some of, or well, not really ruin because you just kind of smudged it on, but it's starting to streak some of the war paint you added.
That's actually kind of cool. You're starting to look like a black metal singer.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. So you're able to easily and deftly and quickly like remove it. Like Talia, you're stressing, and then you notice that Rocha is a little bit farther away from you, and you look down, and the egg's not even in your hand anymore. And about that time, you hear a little bit of a wrenching sound, a grinding sound, and the door has Luthka has managed to force the little latch up. Even with the latch up, it's still resisting, but now you're able to slowly, it's like constant tension. You've got it open enough that the egg could be lobbed out of it, for example.
What am I lobbing it into? Is it into the clean white room?
Well, no, there's a platform before the door, and the door would have to open for you to go into that room.
Okay, cool. Everything looks secure. All right, I will lob that thing.
Okay, yeah, and since you rolled 37 earlier, you can. So as you release the little button thing on it, you hear this like little tick 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 tick, and you toss it, and it bounce, and then there's this loud, sharp, piercing sound that emits. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Yeah, so there's this focused blast of sound. But it only seems to affect the immediate area. It doesn't seem to like reach. I mean, you guys can clearly hear it, but it doesn't have any negative effects on you. It only seems to affect the area within like, I don't know, maybe 15 feet cube or circle area, more or less. So you're not sure what it does, but there's a loud sound that looks like it would probably not be pleasant if you were next to it when it happened.
Well, we know what that one does now.
Do we? What was that?
It's really loud.
What do you want to do with the door? Do you want to keep trying to force it open so that you can get out, or because it's constant pressure, so if you let go, it would immediately close.
Yeah,
again.
I think I'm gonna let go. I think that we're waiting for whoever shows up.
Okay. All right. So this is interesting because
I want to make a point to hide my bandoliers underneath my overcoats.
Sure. So I actually got to look at an older section of the notes.
It's fine. I'm sure they have a video feed. They've been watching us this whole time.
What's video?
Okay.
I don't know. Well, I know. Talia doesn't.
So the sound comes back. And there is a new voice on the line. Okay, here we go. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, there is a voice that comes on and says, I understand I am speaking to a Talia.
Yes, this is Talia.
There's a brief pause and says, you seem to be under some distress.
It's been a really distressing day so far. I almost died like 6 times. I just am trying to make contact for some people so I can go home.
All right, so...
She's just full on crying at this point.
Right. Let me make sure I read this part correct, 'cause I think I need you to roll something for me.
My rolls are on fire today, so that's great.
Okay. Wow, that's a pretty high chance. All right, roll. Since you led with that, go ahead and roll your presence, and I'll let that affect the roll. Which I think I'll do this roll.
Okay. I only have 2 legend points, but I'm going to spend 1 on this because I've been rolling absolute garbage today. Oh, great. 12.
Okay.
Yay, advantage.
I guess it's probably a good thing that I rolled that because I rolled really high. There was an 80% chance, so it's it's good. Yeah, so you don't hear a button get pressed, and he responds with, how did you get inside this place? You're rather deep.
I'll be honest, there was a bunch of random tunnels and I don't even know which buttons I've pressed or how I have no idea where I am, okay? I don't understand anything that's going on right now.
Why are you here?
I'm trying to make contact with someone who can ally against the froggies with the people outside.
There's like a long pause. There's like 6 seconds that pass. Do you want to say anything?
Look, if you don't want to talk, that's fine. If you could just get me out of here and let me out into the desert, I'll leave. But I've said that the people outside want to make contact with you guys, and that's that. Mission accomplished. I'd like to go home now.
Mission accomplished? Who is it that is outside? I do not see anyone outside right now.
There are lots of people outside. They're just really far away, and they've been trying to make contact with you, but they keep getting stopped, which is why they need your help.
The Baron has kind of saddled up next to you, and he's letting you talk, but he looks at you as if he is willing to speak as well.
Yeah, go on. This is your thing. I made contact. Mission accomplished. Here you go, Baron. And I take the translator off myself and I put it in his hand and I go sit down in a corner and continue crying.
I think Brother Richard comes over and kind of pats your shoulder and tries to reassure you a little bit. And yeah, the Baron says, yes, this is, I only have been calling him Baron, so I'm blanking on his actual name.
Shipro?
Yeah. This is Peshwan Shipro, Baron nearby to these lands. I speak on behalf of Blackmore. And yeah, the person on the other end says, you wish to do an alliance against the Froggies. Yes, we wish to send a delegation to negotiate with you and set up so that we can have communication and relations and work together against this blight on the landscape. Okay. So he says, I am interested in this. I will send you something to give to your king and whoever will be coming on this diplomatic mission. And I will be looking forward to this conversation. Very good. That sounds excellent. We'll wait for these items. Yeah, and then there's is there anything else that anybody wants to say or do? There's a sound like a click off.
The last thing that the person over the speaker hears is just quiet sobbing in the background.
I think Orion's going to go try to comfort Talia, and he's actually going to use his newfound Genesis to make a little flower crown.
Aw.
Thanks, Orion.
Describe it! I demand a description of the flower crown!
It's just some of Talia's favorite flowers from home, and he's just kind of able to, like, some like vines and stuff, just the light emanates, and it's very pretty, and they kind of almost, the flowers themselves almost kind of look like almost like sunlight. There's like yellows and reds and things like that.
Thank you.
It's not perfect, but it's the best he could do. He just lightly puts it on top of her head.
Thank you, Orion. It's very pretty. It's just been a really rough day.
It's been a lot.
Well, it seems good. You successfully contacted them, and they seem interested in communicating with us.
That's good. That's good.
So we just wait?
Yeah, you hear the sound, and like through the glass, you can see 3 black golems come flying, and then you notice that there's 3 from the back, and they come and land on either side. And then one of them approaches the door, and they seem to be holding 2 items in their hands. And there's a little click sound. The one that you messed with, there's a little like click, 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 and then and it opens. And yeah, there's one of the black, very large golems that is holding what looks like one of those light swords, and then a badge of some sort. So the Baron kind of steps forward and takes them out of the black golem's hands, and the golem steps back. Now this light sword, you can tell it's a light sword, but it looks a little different. It looks maybe a little fancier. Oh wow, I've been drawing on the map. Hey, look at that. And so yeah, you guys step back, and a voice comes back on over the speaker. The original voice, when you dialed 811, says, "You will now be transported to an exit." And the doors like close again, and the pod starts to move. Brother Richard kind of speaks up. What about my brother? I can't leave yet without my brother.
Why didn't you ask about it when we had the leader on?
Wait, are we being like shoved out? Are we being kicked out?
That's what it sounds like. You just
I
said
did
we're being
ask to
taken
go
to an
home.
exit.
Can we still talk? Can you hear us?
There's no response.
Oh, so they're just gonna straight up kick us out? Is that what's happening? Are any of the black ones around us directly? Are they all inside of the thing?
No, they were on the platform outside.
Okay, so they're now gone.
Yes.
Okay, I would like to probably actually, let's see. There are two options here. First, we'll bamf, use the ring of minor teleportation to bamf on the outside of the speeding vehicle, using my ability to stick to walls to stay on the contraption. And I'm
Okay.
going to attempt to figure out how this is attached to the tunnel.
Isn't that the last use of the ring?
Not the major teleports that you guys have to get out of there. She has a item herself.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
That's how. Remember, she teleported through the door without opening it.
Right, and I thought that she used one of the, I wasn't going to bring it up then, but yeah.
Yeah, I got the ring of minor assured teleportation is what it's called. It was my first like minor magical item get, and I can use it to teleport 15 feet.
So you want to teleport outside, stick on, and see if you can see how this. Yeah. So it is moving at incredible speeds. So you will need to roll to, even with your ability to, essentially spider climb, you're still going to need to roll to hold on.
Okay.
So I think you can do that with agility or might, just because of the nature of how you move and you're climbing. So I'll let you choose which one to roll.
All right, let's do it. Here it goes.
There's
No legendary points.
Okay. There is. Yeah, I mean, there's no advantage that I know of to give you right here unless you have something.
No, I'm using like all the things just to do this, just to stick on the side of the thing and teleport and doing all this stuff at once.
Oh, okay. You want to use all. Well, I mean, okay. How many?
I gotta in order to stay on, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, you don't know. You could roll well.
Okay.
It's up to you how many you want to spend.
Well,
You can spend up to 6 on one roll.
Oh, I'm not going to spend any. I want to see what happens.
Okay. All right.
If I fall, then I may be able to streak down a wall and kind of catch myself just so that I don't die.
Sure.
And if I do get back up, then that will be a very strange part of the tale where maybe Roach saves the day in the end. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
Man, how difficult is it to Snake Eyes? How difficult would it be to hold on to the side of a smooth surface that is moving at like
Well, I'm not holding it with
6,000?
magic. I'm using spider climb.
Well, right.
Legend system equivalent.
Yeah. I'm thinking, because this is moving. I think it said like 6,000 feet per round. Is how fast these things move.
So that's like the same speed of falling.
So it's
Faster.
super fast. Yeah. So there's lots of wind. 15's decent. You feel so you like you're at the front and you're barely holding on, but you're slowly sliding from the wind force, and it's really hard to see, and you're kind of looking. I mean, from what you can see, it seems like this thing is flying. It does not seem physically attached to anything.
Okay, I'm gonna see how tough it is to whip some daggers out and jam them into the side of the thing and start using those to climb up.
Try and climb up. Okay.
Get a better
Better
look.
that than the plasma swords.
Yeah.
Plasma swords might actually hurt someone on the inside, so maybe not yet.
Yeah. Go ahead and use your daggers. If they have deadly on them, you can benefit from it, I'd say.
They do not.
Okay.
They're just normal daggers.
I thought you had one that did.
No, that was in our before I got the Ring of Minor Teleportation.
Oh, okay.
Before we started. I
Gotcha.
was playing around. Hey!
Now you get the high roll. So yeah, now with that, it doesn't go deep, but it dents enough to give you a good grip, so you can kind of move around with your spider climb, plus the extra grip that you gain from the daggers on the side. So yeah, you're able to kind of circle around and look at it more closely, and you're positive now. It's a little bit hard to breathe, but I don't know if that's a problem for Roach.
No, she breathes, but
Okay.
she can just hold her breath for a very long time.
Right. Yeah. So overall, yeah, it just seems to be either some sort of flying and levitating, but moving at ridiculously fast speeds.
Nuts. So there's no physical things that I could disrupt to slow this down. Maybe not me.
Yeah.
No, but nobody else can teleport out here.
Roll your perception with
Are snoopers applicable?
no, because you're looking close. I'll give you one advantage since you rolled very high on your agility.
Oh, hey, thanks. Very generous.
So you're looking around. There doesn't seem to be anything holding it. There are some, we'll say, circular little things, especially more so along the bottom. And like when you get near them, you feel like they don't push you away, but you get a feeling that they're like pulsing or something.
Is it kind of like the feeling where you wave your hand over an air hockey table?
A little bit, but it's not like it's blowing out wind. Actually, you feel your daggers kind of being drawn and pushed away from them a little bit.
Okay. All right. This will be weird. All right. I think I know what to do. I'm going to dagger my way down to all of that, put one of the daggers up, and then I'm going to pull out one of the plasma swords.
Okay.
And I'm going to give like a bang on the side of the thing, like a warning.
Okay, you guys hear a banging?
It's a confident banging, like a 1, 2, 3, sure thing. And give it a sec, and then I'm going to attempt to pry off using the plasma sword, cut off one of those things.
Okay, interesting. Okay, roll, since you're having to hold on while you're trying to swing to cut. So I think you'll have disadvantage to it, which probably just counteracts the default deadly that's on the plasma.
Okay, that'll work. This one I do think I'm actually going to use a legend point on.
Okay.
This one seems particularly thin.
So while this is all going on the outside, is there anything that Luthka's doing? Is there anything Orion's doing, or Talia? Is there anything while you're speeding along here?
We move away from the banging sound. Yeah, no,
Okay.
I have nothing aside from opening the doors that which would probably be worse. So,
All right, so yeah, you managed to slice it, and it cuts deep into it, and it's only now that you notice there's like a little bit of a light that seemed to have been coming from it because it's now off. And inside, there's a subtle red flashing, and over the intercom it says, "Warning, warning. An error has been detected. We will be doing an emergency stop." And it starts to slow down. What are you doing, Roach, on the outside?
I'm gonna feel it starting to slow down and say I'm gonna hope that's enough, and then I'm gonna teleport back in after finding a window I can see through.
So yeah, you bamf back in, and it comes to a stop, and well, let's see. Lagging today. There we go. Okay, so it slows down, and then it kind of stops at a platform, and the doors open and says, "Please exit immediately. Please exit immediately. Please exit immediately."
Okay, fine.
So there's platforms on both sides, so you get off left or right.
Left.
So you guys kind of all get off, and once the last person steps off, the doors close, and there's a thing that opens up top, and it starts to raise up and disappear into that. As you guys are out, this particular platform, we'll say, is 180 wide, and there are 3 large doors, probably 20-25 wide each, and each one has like a circular viewport to look through it. So yeah, is there anything you want to do immediately?
I want to ask the Baron about the badge that he got, and take a look at that if he'll let me.
Sure, yeah. He's got the badge and the light sword.
Right.
How did I lose where that was? It is similar to the well, roll learning for me. See if you can recognize it, or see if there's anything to recognize. Ah, there we go.
It's taking a minute.
So I'll retcon a little bit of something. He mentions that when the diplomatic mission is ready to come and see him, that particular badge / pin just needs to be twisted, and a vessel will be sent to pick them up. Roll 20 is lagging a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, I'm reloading it now, seeing if.
Oh, it probably sent it. My rolls took a while too.
Yeah.
It just might be lagging. So yeah, we're about to go on break anyways. So we'll see if anything comes from that learning roll. But yeah, so apparently the little badge pin, when you twist the top, according to him, a vessel will be sent to pick up the diplomatic mission. And yeah, we'll go on a brief break. Oh, learning roll of 19. It reminds you of the pin badge that Basirio was wearing inside the silvery egg. That like he activated and started to play this music, and then was explaining stuff inside the egg. And that was like one of the devices that had been found on the person who had emerged from the egg and then gotten crossbow bolted to the forehead by Binbo. So yeah, we'll go on a brief break here, and then we'll come back and find out where the party is. They seem to technically have been successful, but they're still inside the City of the Gods right now. They, of course, do have an immediate exit in the teleportation rings that they have. But, yeah, what is going on? Where are they? And what about Brother Richard's brother? So join the Discord. Have fun talking there. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes. See you soon. And we're back. So, yeah, we come back with a recollection of a similar pin. Understanding that it is a way for the diplomatic mission to call to come and do a meeting. But you are currently standing on a roughly 180 foot wide platform. There are 3 doors, very large doors, by the way. They're like 25 foot wide and 25 foot tall, but down at regular average height is little circular windows that you can peer into the place. Of note, we'll say the middle one, just for funsies, has on the door a large red triangle with a vertical white line and then a dot under it.
When has that symbol ever meant anything bad?
Yeah, I was gonna say, from studying all the symbols that I've come across so far, does that seem like it's... Do I have any idea what that symbol might possibly mean?
Red usually indicates danger of some kind.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if we want to go this way. We might just want to wait for another one to come to pick us up so we can leave.
Well, the reason why I did that was so that we would be able to leave on our terms. Are we finished here?
Well,
I don't think they just show up anyway. I think we need one of those little orange fellas to summon one.
Yeah, I don't know that I can just leave without my brother. I mean, I wasn't able to give him the teleportation ring before he was absconded with.
Let's at least try to figure out what happened to the poor brother's brother.
okay. Do you think that maybe we can contact those people again?
No, because now they're on to us, and they will send those black things to do more than just escort. Now we're on our own.
Did you see some movement behind one of those doors? Baron's kind of looking over at one of the portholes.
Well, last time I looked through a door, I ended up going through it accidentally, so I'm gonna stay away from that one.
I'll look through the door.
Okay, there's the 3 of them, so which one do you go to?
Which one was he referencing with the movement?
Here's one of the ones on the one on the left.
Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at the one on the left then.
Yeah, you peer through, and it's a little bit... You have to blink for a second. It's like you're looking outside. There's grass, and it looks like there's maybe hills and some like shrubs and trees, and it looks like there's something moving around inside.
Luthka, maybe you should take a look. This seems like they've got a bit of the outside on the inside.
Sure.
Do you want to borrow some of these things?
Yeah, all right. Okay, I'll take a look.
Right away when you look, you do see that stuff, but none of the grass or shrubs or trees look like... I mean, they're similar, but they don't look like anything you've seen before. But you can roll perception to try and garner more information.
I gave her the snoopers to use for this. By the way.
Does that add...
It's +3, right?
Yeah, I think it lets you roll with a higher attribute, too.
So how do I make that roll?
Because it is a 5... It's basically an attribute 5.
I don't have any attributes 5s to roll right now.
Okay, it's just 2d6, so you can just roll a d20 plus 2d6 with 2 exclamation marks after them. So /R. Just minus that period at the beginning, and that'll basically roll it for you. Okay, yeah, you got pretty good on it. So you're looking. I mean, there's similarities, but there's something different. Like some of the colorations, some of the way of the shapes of it. It doesn't seem to be anything from any environment that you're accustomed to. So it's a little foreign, a little strange.
But it's not to the point that it seems alien or something.
It might seem a little bit like, I mean, you're not. You're not sure what it is, but there's something different. And then you notice a rabbit, but when the snoopers kind of zoom in on it, it's not any rabbit you've ever seen. Some of the muscular is different. It's kind of this blackish, and it's not like you would think it's a dire rabbit because it's too small, but it does look like it's got a little bit more protrusions along its spine, but it's not the bone exposed. It's a very alien looking rabbit.
Know what they say about rabbits on the moon.
Avoid them.
No, there's just rabbits on the moon.
Oh.
I think.
So that's what you notice. There seems to be more than one of these, but they're moving around in this area that looks like it's simulating some sort of environment. And there's a similar button panel and stuff like before this next to it.
All right.
Does the door with the red triangle have a window on it as well?
Yes.
I'd like to take a look through that if nobody wants to mess with the unnatural nature.
Yeah, so you look through. It's kind of a bleak looking landscape. There seems to be some sort of gas maybe that's in the room. That's a little bit of a dark texture. You can it's a little bit harder to see. It's kind of like a fog almost. But there seems to be a lot of rocks from what you can see of like landscape wise, rocky sharp projections on the ground and the walls that you can see.
Totally put your hand on it.
No.
And what you notice about this one is like it looks like there's a secondary door, like a very 5-foot room. So like when this opens, there's like another door, but it also has a viewport. So you're looking through this viewport and that viewport to see into the room.
And what's behind door number 3?
It is completely empty. It is. It's like the smooth metal and everything. It just seems like there's nothing in it.
I'm gonna be lingering there by that middle door, and I'm gonna tap on the glass.
Okay. You kind of tap on the glass and you kind of peer through it for a little bit, and suddenly there's a bang against the other side, and you can make out like some sort of wolfish maybe face with sharp teeth, like reacting to the sound that echoed through.
Oh wow! Look at you. Are
When that
these?
bang happened, Talia screamed.
So yeah, there seems to be two very different environs that are through these rooms. You can tell from the first room it appears to be 60 foot by 180 foot. And based on the doors, probably they're each like that in size.
Was there like a perceivable exit on the end of either of these rooms?
Well, the one you definitely can't see the end because of the fog. The other one, no. It seems to be enclosed. Let me have Roach roll an exploding D6 for me. A 3, okay. You guys start to hear a sound coming from the tubes.
I think another one's coming.
Well, if you want to find Brother Richard's brother, we need to not get found.
Okay.
Should we hide? Kind of looks towards the 3 doors.
Yeah, I'm gonna just run, and then as I jump, I'm gonna use my teleport ring, and I'm gonna teleport through the one with the rabbits that Luthko was looking through.
Okay. So you guys watch Roach just boop. Yeah, it's a completely different environment. It's kind of like, it's not super humid, but I mean, it's nice and cool and like a comfortable, even temperature through most of this other place. But in here, it feels like you're actually outside. You can feel a little bit more heat. There might be like a slight breeze that blows every now and then. But the grass that you land on, it feels a little rubbery or it wouldn't feel rubbery, I guess. It feels like a little bit spongy. It's a little bit weird.
I'll get out of the way first, and then I'll lick it. See what it tastes like.
And as you look down and start to step, the grass, as your foot approaches it, the little grass parts pull down and disappear into the ground. So like wherever you step, you're not stepping actually on the grass, you're stepping on the ground underneath it.
Okay, that's an organism.
So what do the rest of you do as you watch Roach teleport into it?
I was going to suggest the empty room.
Yeah, there's a keypad and everything.
Look safe.
Well, she has a point in the sense that what are we going to hide behind in the empty room?
The sound's getting louder.
Yeah, let's go play with the bunny.
All right. I put in that original code.
You
that
beep
got
boop
us
boop
through.
bop and the door raises up.
Everyone in, I guess.
And yeah, you guys shuffle and you feel the heat coming out.
Watch your feet.
And then once you guys have passed, the door starts to close back down again.
We're just gonna hide behind trees or stuff.
Yep, find something to hide behind.
You roll perception to see what you notice for good hiding. Wow.
We are so good today. So on it. We should really use those rings and get out of here.
If they're very obviously doing a terrible job, can I help them? Can I just
Like,
there's a rock right over there, y'all.
Talia's like
We're trying to hide
inspecting and sees this shrub and is kind of looking, but her armor's making it hard for her to scrunch down small.
I was gonna say the shrub shrinks as I try to hide behind it.
And yeah, the leaves. Orion goes and stands behind a tree, but his tail's sticking out on one side, his armor's coming out the other side. It's hugely obvious.
That's better. I was going to try the shrub that Talia tried.
But yeah, as Talia like hunches down behind the shrub, yeah, the leaves pull into the branches. And maybe after a few seconds, they start to slowly creep back out.
No, it's okay, little plant. I just want to hide behind you. I'm not going to touch you.
So,
I hear they like singing.
I'm a little teapot, short and sad.
does anybody want to like watch out the porthole from the other side before?
Yeah, I'd like to invisibly post up next to the door so that if somebody comes up in there, I'll have the drop on them.
Okay.
And I would actually like to use Genesis again to create 5-foot kind of like barrier of vines and kind of like foliage around Talia at least.
Okay. Interesting. Go ahead and roll your creation for that. For reasons. Cool. Talia has the lowest presence. Cool. Very cool. 20. Okay. You feel like the vines, like because you created them, they're somewhat sustained by you. But you get this like slight sense that they're having trouble with this environment.
Yeah, I'm trying to mimic the foliage and stuff around, but it's not something I've seen before. So yeah, I can tell they're not really like taking root as well as they probably should.
So, Talia, as you're crunched down there, suddenly this black thing pops into view in front of you. And yeah, there's a rabbit. It looks similar to a rabbit face. And it's kind of, the nose is kind of, twitching up and down as it's like sniffing the air and kind of looking at you. It's got fairly normal looking eyes. It's not like it's red eyes or anything like that. Like it resembles, it's not quite right. Like maybe the legs are bent a little bit differently or they're a little bit more out. So it looks a little weird, a little alien. And like I said, it's black and it looks like it's got bigger ridges for its spine, but the bone's not sticking out. It's still got fur there.
Hey, little guy. Shh, we're hiding, okay?
It kind of takes like a little step back and its mouth kind of opens a little bit. And instead of like the flat teeth, you notice that they're spiked, sharp teeth.
Hey, little guy. Just, metal. Not very tasty.
As you're looking outside, Roach, kind of checking, one of the trains basically comes in and stops for a moment. And the doors open and you see somebody on the ground that looks like they've got something wrapped up around them and something orange inside the thing.
Oh, hey, it's our friend. It's our guide.
What do you do?
It's our guide. I don't think, like, if we want to go somewhere, we don't know where we're going. Very good source here. Do you wanna talk to him? Can we talk to him?
He's probably a lot more friendly than this bunny.
The bunny doesn't seem to like the loud noise that has come up, and it's the teeth are kind of looking like they're ready to bite into something as it's maybe like 5 feet away from your face, Talia.
Talia's slowly gonna back away from the bunny. This looks like a very unnatural bunny. I don't like this bunny at all.
What's Luthka doing in this environment?
Kind of like seeing if she can provoke a reaction out of the bunnies.
Okay. Yeah, I guess go ahead and roll your presence to see how they're reacting to you.
All right.
As Talia is backing up. Are you trying to go towards where Roach is at the door?
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem, they kind of hop up to you, Luthka, and they're kind of sniffing at you and Glamis a little bit, seemingly interested. You can tell that these, based on their muscular and the teeth that you can see, these are carnivorous bunnies as opposed to more plant-based.
Right.
And I think that maybe triggers something too. You're kind of looking around. You notice that, like the shrubs, you're wondering if those are plants or not. But yeah. So Roach, do you want to go through the door? Do you want to?
Not without my companions. I've been doing a lot of stuff on my own initiative, and I think that it's got Talia in a way that could have been avoided if I had just chilled out. So I'm going to wait for them.
Yeah, because you don't get a feeling that the thing's going to stay there that long.
The golem?
Yeah, because usually it stops and then it'll continue on.
Does anyone look like they're actually in trouble from these rabbits, or are we
not
still
presently? Talia's just like backing away. Are you trying to head towards the door, Talia?
Yeah.
Yeah, Talia is like
safe out there.
Backpedaling towards you rather quickly.
Sounds a lot safer than carnivorous bunnies, so I'm going that way.
So yeah, I mean, you can easily exit and try and wave to the orange little golem.
Talia, what's the code?
Oh, it's I don't remember off the top of my head, but I give you the code because Talia would know it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's the sequence of buttons to push.
So door comes open.
Yeah, the door rises open. And like the doors on this device are starting to close. But then there's like a beep sound and the doors open and the thing kind of hovers out and kind of sees you. And it kind of calls and says, "You should not be in there."
Agreed.
Are all of you exiting?
Quickly as possible, yeah.
Is Luthka interested in like taking any samples or?
Like, probably wouldn't be disturbing if she's not sure what's up with the bushes and stuff exactly.
Sure.
Then she probably wouldn't be disturbing it too much because don't want to sever an artery of something.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you guys kind of exit. I'll say that as Luthka is leaving, you notice one of the bunnies lunge at one of the bushes and bite at one of the like leaf looking things before it managed to pull back, and maybe it rips it off, and there's a little bit of squirt of some colored substance before the door closes.
You listen to us all. Don't judge a room
by its bunnies.
Yeah, by its bunnies.
Actually, I think it's pretty accurate to judge a room by its bunnies, because if it has vicious bunnies, then it's gonna have vicious everything else, and that was really scary.
Those are really cool bunnies. Yeah. Anyways,
they didn't look at you like a meal.
It's fair.
Plants literally bled. That was horrifying.
So yeah, the little orange guy is. You all seem to have disappeared. I was worried something happened to you. Are you all right?
Yeah. Hey, friend. We got a bit of a situation. What was your brother's name? Brother Richard.
Oh, Superio. Or, yeah.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
Rosario. We're looking for this guy called that. Do you know where he is?
I do not. I do not have access to personnel records.
Can you take us to the nearest person that does?
Well, I still need to bring this one to medical.
Does a physician? Is that what you have? Is our
Maybe the physician
Architect.
can tell us where that person is. Let's just go to medical with them. And
The doctor may know where certain personnel are.
Take us there.
He was taken, so he might be in there.
Yep. Let's go.
So yeah. Gotta think for a second. Brain. Cool. So yeah, you guys enter in, and it kind of scoots up to the front where that pad is, and it reaches a little thing out to go and presses buttons, and you notice the number 1-3, a strange symbol. It's like this sweeping thing that for you guys looks like an @ sign, and then 4. And yeah, then and it starts to move down, and yeah, you arrive, and the doors on the right side open. There's only a platform on the right, and there's a big red cross sign that's over the door here. And yeah, there's a door that appears to go into another area, and the little bot starts to move with the thing still lassoed around the person. They're just being dragged on the ground as it starts to pull the person towards these doors. Or actually, I guess you wouldn't. Well, anyways, yeah. So
Yeah, I'll follow.
Follow the bot.
So the doors open. There doesn't seem to be anyone in this particular room. There's a couple beds that are around. There's about a dozen in here. And there's some strange metal bench, metal that's bent in weird shapes and directions that are kind of against the wall, and looks like some various tools. And yeah, the bot drags it in and beep boops a little bit, and you hear the translator badge go, "I have someone in need of medical assistance here." And there's a little whirring sound, and one of these things that was against the wall kind of comes out and kind of extends like an arm, and it goes down, and then another one comes out and it kind of grabs onto the person, and the little lasso thing from the orange guy undoes and sucks back into him, and it gingerly picks up the person and puts it onto a bed. And then there seems to be a light that passes over and across the person. So yeah, you guys are in this room, and the orange guy turns to you. It seems like the doctor is not in, but the auto doctor is performing procedures.
God's name. She'll approach the contraption and try to look at it, see what it's doing.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
There's no people.
yeah, There's no people, but there's like these arms, which I guess are like arms of a golem, but is the whole room a golem? It's strange. And yeah, there's this thing that like it's like an arch that slides down the bed and back up the bed that's emitting the light that kind of scans over the person's body.
Can I put my hand in the light?
Yeah, I mean, you put it in the light. You can kind of see there's one of those boxes has lit up on the wall, and you kind of see a skeleton on it, and then like there's a bunch of like vines wrapped around the bones, and for you guys, you're basically seeing the different layers of a person, right? As it's, scanning everything.
Okay, I think I would know what those vines are.
Yeah, you probably would. It's true. But
Things.
like the detail that is like displaying this is and what's interesting is it's like highlighted some spots around the neck as if those have been inflamed or recently attacked or injured.
Some form of necromancy?
That's what I was trying to figure out, but I know that necromancy is mostly the manipulation of negative energy, not this. It seems like more like divine stuff.
Mm.
The voice outputs. It appears that the patient has received trauma around the neck.
That is correct.
Excuse me, Mr. Doctor Otto. Sir, have you seen Belserio recently?
I do not know who you are referring to. Were they a patient recently?
Maybe.
Have you had any unidentified patients recently?
Oh, that's a good question.
Negative. But there are other medical pods.
Of course there are.
Do you know how many people are here that didn't come from here?
I do not understand your query. I am aware of the current personnel of the ship.
What is their number?
He says a really large number.
Okay.
Like, I'm pretty sure, like, definitely in the thousands.
Oh,
Called this a ship.
How have we only seen one person?
Most of the crew is currently in stasis.
oh no! What if that is the doctor? Oh no!
Why is everybody in stasis?
Standard procedure after a wreck.
Which personnel are currently not in stasis?
Only essential crew is currently not in stasis.
And where are they located? Presently.
I'm not authorized to reveal the location of all personnel, but they are scattered throughout the entire vessel. And there's like another screen that lights up and shows basically like the entire ship. So you get another idea of the immensity, and there's a little thing that says "You are here," and then there's like a couple spots where some thoughts of personnel and stuff apparently are.
Do you have like visiting hours for any patients that are currently being treated? Or like where we can go to find
Treatment
them?
usually does not take long. You start to hear the guy waking up on the bed.
Oh no.
That's a good thing, right? We need a person.
Worst scenario, Roach just strangles him again.
Yeah, no big deal.
The patient is fine and will recover. And the light goes off. There's a little like screen that is displaying for when the patient sits up. And the patient starts to flutter their eyes open.
Talia, I start kind of freaking out, and I whisper to Roach, but aren't they going to remember that we knocked them out and immediately call for help?
I'm the one that knocked him out. I have no qualms against apologizing immediately and telling him who I am and why I'm here.
She was invisible anyway. He had
Yes, but he saw
choked on
us.
something.
No. I'll turn visible again. I'm serious. I'll take full responsibility.
The guy slowly starts to sit up, holding his head.
Hey, bud.
He turns around as the translators are going. You see his hand like go down to his side, where it looks like there's a strange like maybe leather thing that holds one of the wands.
Hey, don't do that.
It looks like you had an accident. We rushed you to medical.
Hit your head real bad.
He's looking around real confused.
Are you okay? How do you feel?
Okay, yeah, your voices are, how did I get here? Who are you? He's kind of looking at Orion and Talia mainly and kind of looking at the rest.
Well,
Yeah. We brought you here because you got hurt with the help of little orange fella there. And we probably sound weird because we're using one of your doohickeys to talk to you. Because we're not really what you would call from here.
Vern says, we're on a diplomatic mission. We've just been given these, and holds up the light sword and the little badge. He kind of relaxes a little bit. Says, what? Why was I? What happened? I'm so confused.
well, it's a really long story. We don't need to go into the details right now. But the important part is that you're okay. Everybody's fine. Everything's fine. I'm really glad that you're awake now.
We could actually, honestly, maybe use your help.
What do you need help with?
Well,
Well-
our friend here, his brother was abducted or taken somehow. We're not exactly sure what happened there, but we think that he's somewhere on ship. And maybe you could help us locate him.
He gets up and approaches the Baron, I guess, because the Baron showed the badge, and kind of looks at it and when did this happen?
Oh, like like a week ago.
Yeah, because you guys were traveling for a while, so it was a while ago. Who would like to roll persuasion? You'd have advantage because of his current unclear mind, and another advantage because of the badge. So you'd have 2 advantage to the persuasion roll.
Eris,
I have
what
a
are you
zero
saying?
skill in persuasion.
Hey, me too.
Same.
Awesome.
I
Okay.
also
All right.
have 0.
I'll roll it. You said 2 advantage.
You do have, I guess, some allies with you. I don't know if they have anything either. Nope. What about
to be fair, it was Talia and Orion that were talking.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Guess
Yeah.
we just
They have zeros in persuasion as well.
So go for it, Orion.
this party is not built for negotiation.
And that just gave me one
Oh.
advantage.
Oh, because you have right, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, 15 is actually pretty good. So he walks over to one of those black boxes and he taps on it and stuff comes up and he types a few things. It looks like about 2.5 weeks ago we had an intake, and there's like a picture of Sapero that pops up. He looks shocked, wide-eyed and confused.
Is it like a mugshot? Because I mean, he is like Zipper the drunk, right? So is this like? Nick
I mean,
Nolte kind of-
it's not a mugshot. Like he's not holding up a thing or something, but his hair is like a little bit frazzled. Currently he's in the prison pod.
Why is he in the prison? He didn't do anything wrong.
Well, according to this, he's like reading. So he is suspected froggy. That's part of stole a transport pod.
He's definitely not a froggy. I don't think he stole the pot. I think he just found it.
He's not a froggy. Brother Richard, have you ever suspected him of playing both sides or anything?
Oh, certainly not.
Because I had a friend once that was a very heavy drinker, and he was used to it, and he was fully functional, and he would just do it to throw people off.
I'm not quite sure. Go ahead, Orion.
If you want to continue that, I was going to talk to the person whose name we haven't gotten yet.
Oh, sure.
So, rude of us. What is your name? I'm Orion. This is Talia. The large green lady over there is Luca.
What in the world?
I'm Roach.
He
Yeah,
says
the voice
something
reader.
that basically gets translated into, I'm Ensign. That's not the right name. That's his actual name. Oh man.
Come to James.
Oh yeah, I'm Ensign Crusher.
Seriously? Is that what's in? Did you?
What?
Shut up, Wesley.
Yeah.
Ensign Crusher. Is there any way you could maybe take us to escort us? Maybe is a better word to the prison area and help us sort this whole mess out.
I suppose I could do that. I mean, you are, I guess, here on a diplomatic mission. I guess I got everything, and he kind of starts to walk out the door.
Go ahead and follow him.
And so you guys get back inside the thing. He enters in 1134, and you guys start moving along. And he says, "So what? Who are you here meeting with?"
Well, we haven't met anyone besides your metallic staff. yet. But we spoke with someone.
Yeah, those holes.
No, through the intercom system.
I write that down in my notebook.
Yes, your interior communication system. Yes.
So you're from out there, huh?
Do you want better? We're from out there, and we're from the future.
He blinks a little bit. What do you mean from the future?
Well, I mean, like, you know magic, right?
Like you're aware of the concept of magic.
Yes.
That.
So, yeah, we went to a magic house that then
Actually, technically,
transported
it
us.
was a tavern, and we were investigating the door, and then all of a sudden, the door just started lighting up, and then we all kind of went through it because why the heck not? It was really cool, and there were bandits coming, so we kind of had to. And then when we got to the other side, we were greeted, "Hey, you've been sent back about 3,000 years in the past." So
Kind of strokes his chin a little bit, and he pulls out this flat square rectangular thing, and it kind of lights up similarly to how the things on the wall did. And he seems to be like, it looks like he's got like some sort of quill minus the feather on it, and he's like running it against the surface, and seems to be leaving a mark wherever he touches the screen.
that's
If the little rectangle says Nook on it, I'm seriously going to doubt this guy's technical skills.
Talia is very interested and is also taking notes in her notebook with her traditional ink quill.
Yeah, he's muttering something about maybe you catch a word about uncivilized and access to time travel and things like that, and it's like making some notes. And the thing starts to slow down, and you pop out, and there's on both sides, it's kind of like where you were with the rabbit and the fog. On both sides, there's 3 doors. And there appear to be some of the blue golems that, are the same that you talked to before, and that the little orange guy helped you get past. They seem to be 2 on each side. So there's 1 between each door, essentially. And Ensign Crusher says, it looks like he's on this side, and kind of steps off.
Thank you. Is there anything that you would like to know about us, since we've been just kind of asking you questions? Like, seems like you folk are not from here.
Well, I'm not. The protocol, I'm not really supposed to interact too much with but over here. And he starts to walk to the middle door.
I sense you want to, though, and there's nobody here but us chickens.
But us chickens. It's like, well, I mean, like, do you guys? How would it translate it? I guess, yeah. It says like, do you defecate?
Yes.
Everything does. In
Well,
one form or
not
another.
everything. I mean, we've encountered some stuff, and right, yeah. So,
What about you? Wait, no, that makes me very curious.
well, yeah,
To be honest, I
I
was curious about Roach with that from the beginning.
No, I'm technically alive. I'm dead, but I'm technically alive. I think that's why they call them undead.
wait, what?
I'm an undead.
My poo's gold.
What does that mean?
It means while my tissue is of something that had a former life, I am something else, and it has been done through necromancy and negative energy.
Kind of like scratches the back of this featherless quill on the side of his head a little bit. That doesn't.
You want to see a trick?
You've been reanimated?
Well, animated. This is who I am. Whoever these parts belong to, they don't exist anymore. Not on this plane, anyways.
You see, it's a reformed spirit that's been placed into a vessel of previously deceased parts that were conjoined to make a slightly living being. I don't understand what's so confusing about that.
Right?
He like makes some notes and mutters something like artificial intelligence, maybe. And yeah, so you were about to show him something.
Yeah, if he's willing, I'll do the little hand trick. And I'm like, look, nothing up my sleeves, literally. Boop.
And your hand just pops off. He goes, whoa! Mm-hmm. And he kind of like backs up and
it'll stand there, and then it'll lift its pointer finger like it's ready for a handshake.
He takes like another step back. There's like no blood.
It hangs its pointer finger in rejection.
Does that hurt? Kind of like looks at the hand.
No.
Or well, the he looks at the stub, I guess, in this case.
I can also regenerate. Minimally.
Fascinating. He like kind of holds the little rectangular thing and like presses a button. There's this little like click sound.
I have a fan.
And then like he points it at the hand and there's another little click, and maybe like when he changes the angle, you see it is like somehow like a copy of what the hand looks like, because it's a picture basically that he's taken, but it's showing up on the screen.
Yeah, I'll let him have his fun, whatever he wants to do. If he wants to like pose the hand or poke at it or whatever, go for it.
And he kind of looks over to like Luthka and Glamis and says, "Is that a child of yours?" He kind of points to Glamis because he's looking at the wool of Glamis that seems to be worn by Luthka, and he's kind of just
rude.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. What is?
What?
What is that? He's pointing at Glamis.
It's a hog.
It's her wool baby.
So it is her baby.
Well, sometimes people call like cats or dogs their fur babies. It's her wool baby.
Interesting.
Do you not have folk like us where you come from?
Not like, kind of points at Luthka and you. Says you look like you're a lizard, but big.
Yeah, I mean,
Hang on, they know what lizards are, but they don't know what pigs are.
He doesn't know what this pig with wool is.
I mean, those
also have
exist on Earth as well. But
carnivorous rabbits. So yeah, I breathe fire sometimes too. Do you know what dragons are?
So I'm trying to think, because there's like translation things that are happening, and I'm wondering how well those things would translate. So
Fireworms.
giant lizards, I guess.
Yeah, but like they breathe fire and horde.
Oh yes, I think I saw some reports about some of those on the outside.
Yeah, I'm like that, but bipedal and smaller.
Oh, you're like a baby?
No,
Dragon baby.
I'm just different. Okay,
Just different.
Well,
you understand me, Dad?
difference between kind of like a human and a halfling. They're similar but not quite, and their body structures are a little bit different. But very comparable when you
Oh,
do that.
are you a halfling because you're so much shorter, or?
I'm an elf. Have you heard of elves? Do you have elves where you come from?
No.
Oh,
Gee, what do you have?
does this person look like a human? Or-
Similar, but there's maybe a few features that are a little bit different. Like, very similar bone structure, but not quite the same as a human.
Where do you come from?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Why not? Is it some sort of directive? Some sort of primary directive?
It may just be that they don't want to get attached to the indigenous peoples if they intend to leave. We heard that there was a crash.
I don't think we even count as indigenous right now.
Since you're from the future. Yeah,
It's a bit of a weird
it's true.
semantic
That's a good
thing.
point.
This is, yeah, something like that. We don't want to mess you up.
We're all a little bit messed up already. I'm sure you can tell in
Could
our
mess-
unique ways.
Could mess you up if you continue being this cryptic.
I mean, I'm not very high up yet, so I don't have as much information.
Well, I mean, we are complete strangers that you're talking to, so that, I mean, it makes sense that you wouldn't be able to tell us everything. But it's thank you for opening up and sharing. But we're just visiting too. We're not actually from this time and place. We're from quite a distance away and about 3,000 years in the future. So any information you give us now isn't really going to affect anything while you're still alive, I assume. How long do your people live?
Well, general lifespan's about 150 to 200 years, I guess. But I mean, then you can be around longer because of being in stasis or
Magic.
right, magic. Yes.
You seem very skeptical about magic. Have you
You wanna
not
see
seen
magic?
actual
We don't
magic?
do magic. Yeah.
I mean, I understand there's like some strange field on this planet, but it's I think we're generally referring to that as magic, but
Well, do I have a history lesson for you? So, I don't even think I have the brain capacity to follow Alia's version of history of magic. But you can assume.
like I think maybe
gonna
as
create some
you
light
start to do that, Brother Richard kind of comes up. I hate to interrupt, but I'd really like to see my brother.
Oh, right, of course. I apologize. If you want to, we can talk about this later. I've got lots of information on magic if you're interested in hearing about it.
Sure, yeah, I can maybe write some of that down. It might be good information for the database.
Although, actually, most of my information is from the future if you're looking from now. So maybe I shouldn't give it to you because it's not actually applicable to what you have right now, and it might mess up something in the space-time continuum. I think that's what I'm going to call it. So maybe I shouldn't give you a lot of information. I can give you some information.
Well, let's
go
just
over
walk
that
this way. Brother Richard starts to like move you guys towards the door. The two blue 7-foot tall golems step forward as you approach, and they beep and boop and well, actually no, they'd go in language mode, not in beep and boops, but it's still in not your language. Gets translated to state your business, and Ensign Crusher says with like maybe a little squeak in his voice, says, we're a diplomatic mission. We're checking on a prisoner, and the blue bots kind of like look at you guys, and he holds up the like little badge thing, and they step back for now, and the doors open, and you enter in, and there's 60 foot by 180, and there's bunks that look like they put up here that people can sleep in. There's a decent amount of people in here, actually. And among them is Brother Richard, looking haggard and sleep deprived. And he once he recognizes you guys, once he recognizes his brother, and he saw you guys. So he kind of runs up and kind of looks, and Brother Richard runs up to him, and they're talking, quickly, and the other people seem to be taking notice and starting to get up and kind of move towards the bars.
Ensign, are these all your prisoners?
Some of them are here on suspicion of mutiny.
Huh. Okay, so Ensign mutiny is.
And you hear some of the people start like trying to talk to you guys, and they're like, Wesley, come on, this is the captain's gone crazy. Come on, just let us out.
Wesley, your sweater looks stupid. Are you part of some sort of navy?
Well, yeah, this is a ship. Where the
Could be a sand ship.
I was gonna say your ship isn't in water.
well, no, it flies.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm gonna need a second.
But yeah, the people are basically there's a lot of chatter, so it's kind of getting garbled because there's so much overlapping stuff for the translator, and they're talking about stuff like they're trying to tell Wesley like let us out. The captain's paranoid. Things like that seem to be kind of coming through in bits and garbles, and as that's happening. We kind of start to fade out as the chatter rises in the prison area that you're at, and so we'll end the show for today with where we're at, because you guys actually through some chance things ended up progressing things a little bit faster. So. Depends on what all you guys do next episode, but depending on how things go and what gets wrapped up, it could be the last episode next session. If not, we'll probably push one more, at least for this chapter of the story. Just depends on if you guys get out with Brother Richard and with Sapiro and all that. So we'll see. We'll go ahead and do some shout outs. So where people can find you on the internet, all that good stuff. We'll start with Eris.
Hello. I am Eris Savad. Today I've been playing Talia Kiaquin. However, normally you can find me really on Twitter all over the place at Eris_Savad, where I am a hula hooping seamstress who plays a lot of RPGs. You can find the stuff I make on erissavad.com. And later on tonight, you can catch me on Little Red Dot's channel playing Witch Girls RPG in the show aptly named Witch Girls. Playing a pretty similar character, so if you like Talia, you will love Raven.
Very cool. And then we have Leica.
Hi, Blyle Leica. I've been playing Lufka this session, and you can find me on Twitter at TimeBust, one word. I don't really have any other streamed games going on currently.
And then we have Casey.
Hi, I'm Casey, KCH on social media. If you go to Twitter, that name, I've got a banner that shows all the times, dates, and characters and where you can find me and when. If you are wondering where that is right now, that's Greyhawk Channel, Friday at 5, Old Faith with NPC Bree and the team. And then on Saturday mornings, playing Halfling Barbarian named Eunice. And then on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m., we're doing like a Saturday morning cartoony time slot of Half-Rate Heroes with our new DM and Katie Chaotic. Katie Quixotic to some. Yeah, that's me.
All right. And then we have Derek.
Hi everyone, I am Derek Sword. I have been Orion, the Gold Dragonborn Paladin. You can find me on Twitter at dsword16, where I post about dogs and travel and RPGs and lots of fun stuff. You can also find me Wednesdays tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Scraticus channel with Heroes of Redwall, where I play a large badger friend who is surprisingly similar to Orion. Go figure. I also like to take this time to do a shout out. I am not a small creator, but we have small creators on this show, on this channel. All of them are amazing. They make awesome, awesome stuff that's made with heart and made with care. And you should check them out and support them.
Indeed. Small creators are the bomb. So I am Great Mustache, great_mustache on Twitter. It is with the O, so it's kind of the British spelling of it. And the Great Mustache, all one word, on Twitch, where you can see some more Open Legend stuff that I do on occasion. So, like I said, we're kind of wrapping up here. The characters have technically achieved their primary mission, their prime directive, on this thing, but of course they still have to get back, and they still have to get back to their actual time as well, and all that, or if they even decide to go back to their actual time through the gate or not. So we've got some more things to discover still. So like I said, it's possible next session could be our last, but it's just as equally possible that we'd push on past that. So we'll see what all happens, and we'll see you next week.
Do you want to do legend points?
Yes, I actually just wrote that in my notes to do that, and we just lost Leica, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they said they had to run.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll there we go. Yeah, so legend points. Who got them? Okay, in Open Legend, you get legend points by utilizing your flaws to the complication or detriment of yourselves and or your party. So anybody's flaws come up there a little bit?
I keep trying to be honest, but it doesn't really lead to detriment necessarily.
Not necessarily. I will say Roach's preference for going on her own or their own, and not really sitting there and looking at the situation in full before acting did almost get Talia in a bit of trouble with those bunnies.
Yeah, it certainly did complicate things for sure.
That's not a flaw that she actually has, though. That's not something I chose for her, so I don't know if that would count. She's got mood disorder, depression, and she's got sickness, leprosy.
Well, I think that can be a legend point given to a character for a moment in the session.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
So
yeah, actually, I do love Birch's approach to both the wolf type creature in the foggy room and the rabbit. It's kind of like one of those scenes you see with like Wolverine or like in the Chronicles of Riddick, where like there's
a reflection.
The killer meets like this true animalistic killer, and they're like, "Oh, hey, friend."
Thank you. I was hoping that was painted to some extent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I've got many nominations for many
Okay.
different things.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll slide Belial in there actually, primarily because she actually did do a flaw-based thing with Ensign Crusher there. She was the only one that was not instantly charmed by that guy, did not want to be his friend, just get me out of here, etc., etc. Yeah, so she did a really good job with that. And then for general stuff, I will say Talia's voicemail was hilarious.
That was good.
Oh my goodness. And then coining the phrase space-time continuum there at the end. I would like to nominate one per both of those things.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And then Orion's Flower Crown creation, using his brand new powers. First time he did anything like this, he creates a flower crown made out of light for Talia.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
And then, give or take, I just wanted to say the Nick Nolte joke was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And then
For those old enough to get it, which I think we all are.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I have not seen enough movies or read about enough celebrities to know who you're talking about.
The quintessential burned out guy with the crazy Doc Brown hair, but in real life.
Yeah, he was like really, really big in the 80s and 90s, and then like I think it was early 2000s, got super drunk and has like the worst celebrity mugshot, where he was like already kind of a grizzled looking person anyway, but his like hair is like a foot off of his head, and yeah, it's
I think I'm gonna have to Google later.
yeah. I will say my honesty did piss off my own deity, so at least there's that.
I would like to nominate that for a legend point.
Okay. Yeah, Nick Nolte was the one that was in 48 Hours, right? And is that the one? Am I thinking this right?
I gotta IMDb him now.
And he was why is my brain not thinking? Anyways, yeah.
And then GM, I just wanted to say really good job for you as well. I liked your omniscient cut twos. Your third person omniscient cut twos. Those are very cool. They immerse me very easily. Very cool reverb effect for the god. And then I enjoyed having someone have more of a fascinated reaction to my character than a repulsed one. That was cool too. Okay, I'm done.
That was cool.
Yeah, I imagine somebody from space might find a detachable hand interesting.
One can hope.
I like how interested Talia was in this device that he was using to write with.
Oh, well, she could tell that he was making notes, and she was like, oh, there's another way to make notes. I'm going to make note of that. So she was
Maybe.
actually like sketching out bits like what it looked like.
Maybe she
and,
could
like,
find one of those devices to take with her.
Oh my gosh.
Because technically she can power them up herself.
Oh my gosh. Talia would absolutely love to have like an iPad.
up until it gets a cracked screen and
No, but that's okay. Then she can just use creation to help fix the crack in the screen and mend it.
It just says take to Apple tech support. She just takes it to a forest.
Excuse me, is there a druid here with mending? No, so I'd like to also say that the flower crown with Orion was beautiful. The fact that he got essentially punished by his god, or at least definitely a boop on the nose.
he would have gotten more, but he rolled an 18 and it was higher than what I rolled for the response, so he got off on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
His deity found it amusing.
And then, like I said, Roach just kind of jumping the gun and doing stuff without really thinking about the entire party.
I don't know why you didn't go through the middle door. I think that would have been a better place to hide.
I have to say, Eris Talia's breakdown was.
Let me do one more. Let me just finish.
Go ahead. Go ahead, go for
And
it.
then also with Luthka and Glomus, how she wasn't at all taking his shit, and
Right.
she was actually kind of forceful with him. I thought that was brilliant too. Okay, now I'm done.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's okay. I just wanted to get all of them out.
Yeah, I just figured that, like, to him, like, just looking at Luthka and Glamis, because they look a little bit like they both got tusks, right? Just one smaller, and Luthka's technically wearing the wool of Glamis, so it looks a little bit like it. So just like a casual look, he would have been like, "Is that your child? What?" Did you want to keep going on what you were saying about Orion or Derek?
No, I was just saying, Talia's breakdown was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was pretty.
Seriously.
Well, it did help for sure on the interaction with who you were talking with, which was
Because it just sounded like, I can't find my mom, and it's been a really long day. And then for Eris to go from that to just like a smile, it's just, I can tell you have kids. That's
right. All right, so yeah, you guys can mark down those legend points, and yeah, we'll see you guys. We'll see all of you next week. See what happens. Bye.